Hello, students. In this video, we are continuing graphing from a table. So we will also learn how to plot points on our XYT chart. So right here, this is the XYT chart. X, Y, and then here's a T. And that's why it's called the XYT chart. Next, we're going to go ahead and go to page 11. Number 7 is written for you. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1/3. First of all, we have to ask ourselves, is it linear or exponential? And if you look at the equation, there's an x, but it's not raised to a power, and x is not raised to a power greater than 1. So we know it's not exponential. So if it's not exponential, and we have these options, we're going to cross out exponential, growth or decay, and asymptote. We still need to know the y-intercept, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and put 0 in for x, and whatever we get out for that, that will be our y-intercept. So if I put 0 in for x, negative 2/3 times 0 is 0, minus 1/3 will be a negative 1/3. So that becomes our y-intercept. So we can write it right here. 0, negative 1/3. Now we go ahead and plot that point. 0, negative 1/3 right there. Okay? Next, we want to do a couple of points on this side and a couple of points on that side to see what the graph looks like. And actually, if we put, I'm going to put 3 in here and a negative 3. We want to have at least 3 numbers here. We want 0, we want 1 positive, and 1 negative. If it's linear, we want it 3 points. If it's exponential, we probably want at least 5 points. So here, we go ahead and put 3 in here. Negative 2/3 times 3. And again, I'll show you how to do that on the calculator. Okay, so we're going to put 2 ABC 3. So there's 2/3. The plus minus down here is how you do the negative. So negative 2/3 times 3 equals negative 2. And then we're going to go minus 1/3. So I did 1 ABC3 equals. And it's negative 2 and 1/3. So when I put 3 in there, the answer is negative 2 and 1/3. So 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, and negative 2 and 1/3 right here. Okay. Next, I'm going to put negative 3 in there. If I put negative 3, so again, using the calculator, 2 ABC 3, and we make sure it's negative, times 3, and make sure it's negative, equals 2, and then go minus 1/3, 1 ABC 3. Equals 1 and 2/3. So I go 1 and 2/3. So I can go negative 3, 1, 2, negative 3, and I go 1 and up to almost 2/3. Okay. Now, if you have a linear equation, these 3 lines should line up. If you don't have a linear equation, other things may happen. But again, if it's linear, the points should line up. If not, you know you've done something wrong. And there's your graph. Okay. Okay, you've got your y-intercept, you've got your graph, and you have at least 3 points if it's a linear equation. Okay. Now we're going to go on to page 13. You will have to finish page 11, page 12, and I wanted to do a harder one for you. So here is one on page 13. So don't let the equation scare you. That's why you have a handy dandy calculator. Okay? First thing we want to do, is it linear? Let's see. We have x as an exponent, so it cannot be linear. So I'm going to cross that out. And again, you should be writing in pencil in case you have to erase it. Okay? Next, we don't know if it's growth or decay until we plot some points. And let's figure out what the y-intercept is. And there will be an asymptote, and we'll go over that too. Okay, if I put 0 in for x, again, I'm using my handy dandy calculator. 1/2, 1, ABC2. Y to the x is my power button. Y to the x, 0, equals 1. And then order of operations says multiply. So I'm going to times that by 4, equals 4, minus 1 equals, and that's 3. Okay, so that becomes our y-intercept at 0, 3. So we also put it over here where it asks for our y-intercept. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and choose 4 next. Actually, maybe I'll just do 2 and 4, and then -2 and -4. And that will be my 5 points, because this is an exponential equation, and so I want at least 5 values of x and 5 values of y. Okay, and I want at least 2 negatives and 2 positives and 0. Okay, so then I go 1/2 to the power of 2. So again, 1/2, 1, ABC2, raised to the power of 2 equals, always put that equal sign after that, times 4 equals, minus 1 equals. And the answer is 0. So 1, 2, 0. Okay, next we're going to put in 4. So we put 1/2, 1 ABC2, raised to a power, so y to the x, 4 equals, then we multiply it by 4, equals, and then we minus 1, negative 0.75. So I go all the way to 4, and we go negative 0.75. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and, okay, negative, so 0.75 is the same as 3/4. So I'm going to put 3/4 right there. Okay. Next, we're going to put -2 in there. So I put 1/2, 1 ABC2, y to the x, and we're doing x is going to be -2, so we put 2 in first, negative. So it's raised to that power. Then we have to multiply it by 4, 16 minus 1, 15. So if I put in -2, it goes all the way up to 15. So -2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's way up there. Okay, so if that's the case and we can't do it, let's see, I put -15. And I'm afraid if I put -4, and that's going to be even higher than that. So I'm going to have to try a different negative. Let's do a -1 just to kind of see what the pattern is. So if I say 1/2, 1 ABC2, y to the x, so I'm raising it to a power of -1, and I have to put 1 in first, equals 2 times 4 equals 8 minus 1, and you get 7. So -1, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so can we kind of see what's happening? Okay, if it's going down and to the right, we know it's a decay. And I'm going to do one more point over here just to see if I can find my asymptote. And I'm going to try, let's put 10 in. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see the last one. I'm going to put 10 over here. And that should give me a tiny number close to -1 is what I'm thinking. But let's see what happens. Handy dandy calculator. 1 ABC2, y to the x, I'm going to raise it to a power of 10, equals, oh, that's a really teeny number. Then we go times 4 equals, and then minus 1 equals. So that's that's getting very, very close to -1. So I'm going to put -0.9960. -0.9961. So I'm going to round to the nearest 10,000. So if I go all the way to 10, so it's getting super, super close to that -1. but it will never reach it. So we're going to go ahead and draw that. So it shouldn't touch -1 at all, but it's getting closer and closer to that -1. So as I get further on, closer and closer, so my asymptote is going to be, oh, it's going to come right at this line. So I draw my asymptote, and I put arrows on each side, and the asymptote is at y equals -1. Okay? All right, students, that was the hardest one, I think, out of all of them. You should be able to get the rest of these without too much problem. You can do it, students. You rock.